are going to write a letter to our future selves in video form. We are. So allow present me to set the prefaces for future me. I got some things I would like to say to her. Okay, great. But first, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to this channel. And we'll chat. Well, I'll chat to her. Just go ahead and go. I realized I made so many commitments and decisions in the past for things that present me had to be like, pew, very ghetto. Like, who did that? Was I sleepy when I said that? I must have had a good night's sleep when I said that. All of that to say, I had to do a lot of undoing. And I think what happens is people actually get to a place that I think you realize like, oh, this particular thing doesn't give me joy anymore. I'm not interested in this anymore. Oh, this has kind of shifted for me. And we've kind of coined it as midlife crisis. You know, what's happening with such and such. And it's like, no, maybe you came to the realization that the things that once made you yay is now yuck. So now your yum is now yuck. And that's okay. And I had deep rootedness in that. I had a career path that I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Yeah, this is giving burnout. Yeah, so no, how do we do something else? I want to do it. Did I say that I didn't want a dog ever? Because the last time I had a dog, I was in 6th grade, and so it was kind of like a burden. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore either. I went ahead and I got 2. And that's another thing. Prior you made decisions that looked a lot like, what was it rooted in? Me not wanting a dog was rooted in trauma because of the experience of the childhood dog that I had. And so what I did was I made a commitment because of what happened to me over there. And now the person here has to stay stuck in that commitment. No, we're not doing that. I did have a heart where I wanted to just help people no matter the pay, no matter the caseload, no matter the job description, all of that. But then I slowly realized, I too want a life. And I don't want to feel like because I chose a profession, I can guarantee that it's going to be stressful forever. No, not just like, oh, it's a Monday. Like, no, your job, ma'am, is to go ahead and I'll go ahead and spill it. I was in CPS. What is that? Child Protective Services. What is that? Making sure children were safe. What is that? If they weren't, I had to take them from the home. What is that? I had to be in court sometimes to go ahead and say, hey, listen, this child should not be. What is that? Stress. Yeah, not for someone who is literally wired, and I understand my gifting now. My gifting is I feel other people's emotions. Why would I put myself where I'm continuously getting paid to do something that has my emotions going up and down all day? So I had to say, okay, what's another way I can help? What's another way that I'm not infusing other people's emotion for the entire shift, okay, as a living? What's another way that I can walk out my skills, my gifting, and my wiring as God put in me and not have it where I made a decision that works against me? Oh. I finally got to the place that I was like, I ain't gonna hold you. It's too much on my to-do list. Like, I gotta buy a calendar every year because I got so much that I need to do. Not just the calendar that's in the home. I needed a personal calendar so I can keep up with all the things. And it was like, ooh, you to-do list down, ain't you? Like, what's your name? To-do list, and then what's your first name? Because that's what it sounded like you just said. You said scratch off with the birth certificate, say, my first name is To Do, my middle name is List. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so, yeah, that's a lot. And so I made a commitment. I said, yo, dear future me, hey, girl, you look good. Why don't you bet that thing? You understand? Like, listen, ma'am, you are doing it. I'm telling you, like, 60 where? Like, that's how I look at future me. 60 where? You understand? I love that for you. And so if I want to speak to future me, okay, like that, if I want to feel like that when I get there, then what am I doing here? What am I doing now to make sure that it's 60 where? You understand? Is that your grandbaby? Oh my gosh. What am I doing now? Are we stressing her out? Are we making commitments that are too heavy? Are we living the life that is very, very kind of skewed on freedom? Do we have no choices? Does the life feel like a culmination of just I have to's? What are we doing now? I said, girl, let me tell you something. I got you. What God is showing me and what he has shifted me to realize is I like a low commitment life. I like a life that is not action-packed. But when I want action, I can go ahead and schedule action. But for the most part, I want a low-paced life. And it took for me to get to the point that I was like, why is it so difficult for me to realize or just to accept that how I used to move don't do it for me no more? And it's because as humans, we will hold on to what we used to be and never truly accept what God is making us. And newsflash, it's not, oh, this is the new me. I feel like the more you start to align with God, the more you let God speak to you, the more you start to take on a slower paced life in certain areas. It's not that he's now changing you to something. I think what's happening is now the layers of what was once on you is now coming off of you, and you're realizing, oh my gosh, I'm actually a pineapple inside. Once you take off all the things, all the cares of the world, all the commitments that you make, you'll start to see like, bruh, actually, it's not that I'm a homebody for real. I am. It's just that I'm an introvert. And it's that, how was I an introvert all my life? And I had that busy life. That's why I was so tired. That's why I was sick. That's why I was rebuked in the name of Jesus. But now it makes sense. You were taking a pineapple and you were trying to make it other fruit. And it's like, bruh, but that's not you. But you'll realize it when you hit yourself in the shin and realize, ooh, you'll realize it when God gives you a sit down season. You'll realize it when you're in somebody's bed trying to get vitals and fluids in you. You'll realize it when you got to take FMLA off of your job. You'll realize it when you snap at somebody who didn't deserve it. You'll realize it when you're like, I'm not doing that to future me. So present you needs to make the decisions that 10, 20 years from now, future you is like, can we get a round of applause? Get the commotion for the present grandbaby. Like, shouts out to you. Because if you are not catching on to what's being said, it literally is what you are standing in right now, what you are facing right now in your life has to do with the decisions previous versions of you made. Yeah, the reason why you got to deal with the way your heart is right now is because of whoever you decided to be intimate in relationships with. The reason why you don't trust certain genders right now is because of how you may or may not, it may have been put on you, okay? You can't choose certain people in your life, but the people that you choose, did they aid to that, okay, great? The reason why you feel about work the way that you do is look at the jobs you keep signing up for. The reason why you are faced with what you're faced with today, a large percent of the pie has to do with your choices, ma'am, sir. So how do you make that better? 10 to 20 years from now, you're not going to deal with that. How do you know? Because we're going to make different decisions today. So I have vowed that future me, she gonna take a page out of Deacon, what's his name? French man town. Ain't worry about it. She ain't worry about it. Nothing. You just gotta get aggressive because who's playing with me? I want to be able to look back and be like, listen, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you went ahead and went to school. I'm thankful that you got your debt cleared up. I'm thankful that you didn't choose somewhere ghetto to live because now the rates are so hot over here that I'm glad you made decisions over there. I'm glad you didn't try to go for the flashiest of cars because now the maintenance on this car is giving very, like, I love this for us. I love that even if gas go up and down, we not in the trenches. I love that. Listen, I love that you ate in a way that don't make me sick now. I love that you were at least trying to get some sunlight and some fluid and some exercise that now I don't got ICO for nothing. You understand? Like, I love what you did for us, and now I'm able to bask in that now. Don't you understand that every stage builds on each other? So what do you do to make sure that the steps getting there don't look like, what are you doing? Because let's go home and say this. What's going to happen is future you is going to have to either fix what you decided not to do or repair what you were ignorant of. So it would behoove you to stop the cycle and just like, I don't know, have a humble assessment of yourself the way the Bible says. And do something different. I'm not judging. I just want to make sure you got it. Do you understand? Do it for you. Because future me, yes, ma'am. Listen. And did. Oh, that's something we used to say. It's all right. You good. You understand? How you going to look? Because I already know how she looking. Okay. Did you like this video? Subscribe to this channel. Okay, you know we do these videos every Thursday. I'm not playing with you. You shouldn't be playing with you either. How you gonna talk to old girl, old boy, when how they look? How they look? Okay, so what you gonna do to make sure that you look like that? You gotta just whatever. You like the video, you subscribe, you did all that. Okay, so we will talk again next Thursday. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let me go. Later.